Hi, welcome to Bookwood. It's cold. Let's go inside. Come in.
I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. I can't believe it's already time to set up our reading journal for March. For my cover page, I go with the usual layout. A calendar on the left and a place to list the books I've read on the right. I love the way the calendar looks at the end of the month, with all the lines indicating when I read which book. I don't use this information on my stats page, but I can refer to it if I want to understand why reading a particular book took more time than I would have expected. I am not good at calligraphy and like using stencils for the titles. This particular one came in a set and I use it for the first time. It turned out that it misses some letters and I had to improvise them. Can you tell which letters are missing? I meant to use a lighter color for the highlighting. I hope that my pen will be visible on this darker color. Let's find out in my March stats video. To decorate my reading journal, I use stationery that I have lying around, mostly leftovers from my bullet journal. This month this will be visible since I absolutely wanted deer for my theme. So every page will have deer, but all in another art style. Deer are my favorite wild animal. Maybe you guessed that already since there is one on the cover of my journal and I decorated the first page with one also. What is your favorite wild animal? Did you ever saw one up close? I've encountered some deer while walking in the forest. We have a species called roe deer. I didn't make any pictures, but here's one I found online. On to the next page. Before we talk about the readathon I've chosen, I'd like to tell you a bit about this journal. As you can see, the paper in this journal goes with some darker marker colors. When I started my journal, I did so to have a place to paste in all the fun and nice printables from the readathons. I picked this journal because the Japanese binding would prevent it from standing open due to the bulking up. It only comes with this 120 GSM paper, so I chose to live with the ghosting. There is not that much of it anyway, since most of it gets covered up by readathon printables. I'll be participating in the realmathon by Covers with Cassidy. It's the first time I joined this readathon. This first spread is meant to hold the lore. I start by giving a place of honor to the map of Carrion City. The empty space above will be used to write down the story Cassidy created for this edition. I'll write it all by hand, off camera. Wait for the final flip through if you want to see how it turned out. This next section is for the family I joined. Maybe you saw in my goals video that I participate in the magical readathon hosted by G from Bookroast. For this D&D inspired readathon, participants create a character. Mine is called Olika. Every month I write or roleplay her story, adding in the events from the year-long adventure and other readathons I participate in. So it's Olika who joined the stacks. If you get curious about the story, let me know and I'll make a video about it. I picked this family because the lore fitted in with Olika's story, but also for the family prompts. I'm not better at drawing than I am at calligraphy. I use this stamp to represent my character. This spread will give me an overview of all the points to count when submitting a book. Any book will grant you points for your family or to deduct off another family's score. The main points come from the page count. Fulfilling some extra prompts add points to this. A glimpse of the decorations added to the lore page after the camera stopped filming. Two lists of prompts allow to add points on your book. One positive and one negative. You can pick up to 5 prompts from the same list per book. I'll write the prompts down by hand off camera. I made little tabs to hold the prompt for everyone and the family prompts. I noticed later that I forgot to leave some space for the page count points chart. I fixed this. The result is waiting for you in the final flip through. This last spread is divided in 2 sections. One to make some notes about the books I've read, and one to keep track of the score. The page on the right will hold the notes about the score. I'll use it to keep track of how many points I personally gather, but also to note down the final scores and the winner. It's a war, after all. On the left side, I'll keep my notes on the books that I have especially chosen from my wanting to read list for the Stack family prompts. The prompts are non-human main character and plants on the cover. I have picked 4 books especially for realmathon. Let me introduce them to you. The first one is Les larmes de Kernunnos by Alain T Puysségur. It's the second book in Le Manoir de Castle Cats. I have talked about this in my series wrap-up. In this book we will following 4 cats, so it hits at least one prompt, but I assure you it has plants on the cover, so it hits both. The second book also hit both prompts. It is The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. It's the second book in the Stolen Air duology and will be following some fae, so that's perfect. The third book is The Goodbye Cat by Hiro Arikawa. Even it is not listed as a second book on Goodreads, it does further Hashi and Nana, 2 cats we met in the Traveling Cat Chronicles. 7 short stories on cats will celebrate the wondrousness of cats. I am looking forward to read this book. The last book is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I have picked this book to read with my boys. It's a classic about 4 friends, a mole, a water rat, a badger and a toad. I don't really know what it is about. It is part of the wonderful stories collection we are reading. It also hit both prompts. Let's flip through all the pages. The first spread looks a little bit wide, but that will be quite different at the end of the month. As I promised, here are the spreads with the handwritten lore texts. Whilst writing, I added highlights to differentiate the different prompts. I also moved the tags to the same side and added the page count chart. What readathon are you reading for in March? I hope you will have lots of fun.